Hi guys! Another coffee ramble, but a bit different this time. I have been working on the Build a City challenge, and I've also been playing the Megahood in the evenings. And something happened there that I thought was so funny that I'd share with you guys. Also, we're going to default some hairs and clothes together, which I recorded in early mornings. And we're going to do a little speed reno at the end of the video, so stay tuned if you're interested in that. But yeah, the thing that happened in the Megahood was when I was playing the Jacquet family, or the Jackets, which always reminds me of the Bouquet or the Bucket family, for those of you that know. My Blue Water Village is a bit different this time around because I didn't want the Sims from Blue Water to actually stay there. So I created a story where Malcolm is actually the owner of all the buildings where the shops are located, and he is going to sell all of his properties to a major corporation that is going to turn it into some kind of mega mall or something. And so they all have to leave. They all have to quit their businesses. They all have to find a new home in one of the other hoods that are in this world. And yeah, so Denise she's not too happy about it. She is very furious with Malcolm. She's a fortune sim, and I actually see her this time around as quite ambitious and wants to create something lasting, but she doesn't know what yet. So she's working hard to at least keep paying the bills and finding new things to do, and finding a place to live and stuff like that. And her son is just, I think in his bio it says something like a bon vivant, which I don't think he's a pleasure sim. I think he's a romance sim, but he's just going out at all times of day and night, partying, bringing home women when his mother is asleep, and pickpocketing everyone he meets. She is just so fed up with him not thinking about the future. So when I played them before, I always thought Denise was like this sweet, caring mother or grandmother that liked to stuff her son with pies, and that's not the image I'm getting from her right now. She keeps rolling ones to earn money. She loves science, not cooking, and she never even once rolled a one to interact with her son. She also doesn't talk to him. She just completely focused on getting them out of this place and getting their finances sorted. She never even talked to him, joked to him, nothing. And this is the funny part where I laughed so hard. So he keeps bringing home women, and he also met Crystal Vu, who I thought, oh, that would be a cool, flirt for him. But they hated each other. They looked at each other and they just instantly hated each other. Okay, keep this in mind. So he keeps talking to his mother. Even when his social bar was completely filled, he just kept talking to her, telling her jokes, asking for her attention, and I always thought he would be like fed up living with his mother. But in this playthrough, it was so funny. She was listening to him and nodding and stuff, and I tried to make a picture of it because slowly the idea started to form that he's not at all fed up with living with his mother. He's actually really happy with his mother taking care of him and doing all the things, and him just going out partying, doing whatever he wants, and not having to think about any of his responsibilities. And at one point, exactly the moment when I tried to make a picture of them talking, his mother yawned, looked into the camera, and I took this picture. And I don't know about you guys, but this picture to me just screams, shoot me now, just release me from this guy. Doesn't he just ever shut up? Why doesn't this boy just find a job and do something? And it was so funny. So in that moment, the idea and the story really started to form that he's really just a mama's boy. She just wants him to get on his own feet and do something. So yeah, at that moment, the thought really emerged that these two probably have the most unhealthy relationship ever. She is so fed up with him. He is so clingy. And I think she's also probably really critical of his decisions and women that he's bringing home. That's why he always keeps them from her. And he would never introduce anyone to her because he knows that she would be so critical. She criticizes his clothing choices, his hobby choices, like everything he does. She's probably really critical. She just wants him to grow up, get a life of his own, and but he's really craving his mother's attention, and But obviously, the more she criticizes him, the more he wants her attention and her approval, I guess. He's probably going to look for the same sort of relationship in a woman. And maybe that's why his relationships with women are always so superficial, because he just cannot find the one that is exactly like his mother. And that's obviously not something that he's consciously searching for, but I think that subconsciously that is what he is doing. It's such an unhealthy relationship, but you just couldn't shake the story, so we're going with it. So I took my spreadsheet and I searched for the one woman that would be most like his mother. So I made a selection, I put a filter on it. I made a selection for female Scorpios, and there were 9 Sims, including his mom. All of the others are either teenagers or are already married. Most of them are teenagers, really, and there was only one possibility of an adult female single Sim, and you can guess it. It's Crystal Fu, and that was so funny to me, like the one woman that he's attracted to, but he hated her when they first met. That is probably the woman that he's going to have a really complicated relationship with in the future, and I'm actually really excited to start playing that story. So in the next round, Denise is going to move in with the Viejo household. They know each other from their card game evenings. She has her savings, and together with the other ladies, she will probably think of a way to give her a sense of purpose for the last season of her life. And Gilbert, he hardly has any savings to his name. He does have a job now, but a really crappy one, and he will probably move to a crappy apartment in Desiderata Valley, where he is going to start the rest of his life. And as for us, we are going to move over to another household because I have a few Sims who desperately need some newer hairstyles, and also I want to do some default clothing defaults. I want to search for some clothing defaults for a few of the female Sims that I've been playing with. So I'll catch you in the other apartment. So the first Sim we have here is Chester Gigi, who you probably know because he's a pre-made. And the second one is his neighbor, Nicholas Mamuyak. He's a townie, actually, that I made into a playable, as I did with most of the townies in all of these neighborhoods. And I don't mind the clipping of the bushes right through the walls. I have some defaults that I've been meaning to take out, but I can't seem to find them in my downloads folder, so that's why they're still there. I love his shorts, by the way. So yeah, we definitely want to default his hair. And then there's 2 more Sims that I've come across in this neighborhood whose hair have been bothering me. So let's see if we can find them with the Sim Blender. And the second one actually lives upstairs, so I'm not sure that we can summon him in. Where are my... Oh, there are my townies. Nope, he's not here. So he might actually be outside of his apartment in a short while. Let's see if he comes down. So we've got Patrick here. And I definitely don't like this Max's hairstyle. And now we can take a closer look at Chester, and yeah, that's definitely one of the worst hairstyles ever. I do want to sort of keep the same style, just make it a little bit better looking, I guess. There he is. There's Alvin. This is already a default. It's just a bit wild, and I do like the hair very much. I'm just not sure that I want it as a default for these Sims. So yeah, I thought I'd have a second go at finding a better default for this one. And I might actually keep the hair because I do really like it. But as a custom, not as a default. So we'll check back in with these guys when they get new hair. And this is the Shin household. Now, Linda Shin has just had a very successful outing with her girlfriends, and they've become a pretty close group of friends. 2 of them have pretty cool clothing, I think, and 2 of them are still in their Max's outfits. So this is also what we're going to default. Her daughter is upstairs in the bathtub and will be downstairs pretty soon, but I gave her a makeover, so she's not wearing defaults, she's actually wearing custom clothing. We're missing a chair because we don't have any money, but yeah, this is the other outfit that we want to default. So yeah, let's go and do that. Okay, so I'm sitting here with my cup of tea because it's really early in the morning and I'm not ready for my coffee yet. But this is usually the time when I do this stuff. So yeah, we're going to go to my probably most visited website of the last few months, the Sims 2 default database. And we're going to scroll down to hair, male. And there are actually a few hairstyles that we're going to look for today to default. We have the peak hairstyle for Nicholas, the rice bowl for Chester, the dreadlock long for Patrick. I did default the cornrows, but not the dreadlock long. And there was a fourth one, yeah, round for Alvin. So let's start out with the peak. I usually go for something that looks similar, so we do keep the like the character of the Sims that are using it sort of the same, but I also really wanted to look good. So if I can choose between one of the ones that keep the hairstyle sort of similar, I go for another one. But there are actually a few that have the same hairstyle. I really like this one, and I know, judging by the background, that is Moogle, and it is. And I know that they are using the same colors, and I really like all of these hairstyles. But in this case, it actually looks quite different, and we don't have I'm not sure what it's called in English, but the gaps on his forehead. It doesn't have that, so I really like this hairstyle. I would love to have it as a custom, but probably not as a default for this one. I'm not liking the orangey red color, so I usually don't go for those. I use Booklet's colors in this hood, and for red I use either Pyro or what's the other one called? Incendiary is the blonde one. I'd have to check 1 second. Explosive, that's the one. So pyrotechnic or explosive, those are the ones that I'm using, and I don't mind if there is 1 or 2 exceptions to that, especially when it's brown colors. I don't mind some of the Sims walking around with different hair colors than the others, but I wouldn't use that hairstyle as one of the options for different clothing. So yeah, I usually don't really do that anyway for my Sims. I think it's a lot of work, and mainly I usually don't have enough hairstyles to actually make it look realistic. So I only do that for a couple of Sims, or when I see some hairstyles that I think, well, that's not really appropriate for this outfit, and then I change it up. But usually they have the same hairstyle for all of their outfits. These colors are actually perfect. I know that these poly counts are sometimes a bit high, but doesn't really mention it here. So I guess both of these are really alright. So we're definitely going to go for this one, the hair default replacement of M Hair Peak. So we're going to download that. There we go. So we've got one. Let's continue to the other one, to the next one. Chester, because that's actually the reason that we're here. That's the way that I've been doing this, because defaulting all of the hairs and clothing, it's really a lot of work. And I've just been playing the neighborhood, and every Sim that I encountered, and I thought, well, this hairstyle, this Max's old hairstyle is really, I can't look at it. I would go out of the game, default it, come back, and then play the first round. Or when I thought, well, it's alright, but I might, default it afterwards, I would finish the round and then make a little list and then default a few of the hairs and clothing. So that's basically what I've been doing. But some of them still had their Max's hairs and clothing, because honestly, not all of it is bad. I think there are actually some cute outfits there. And I've been playing with a custom hood that has been very well thought out. So I actually really like the Max's outfits and the clothing choices and hair choices that they made for them. So I didn't really want to change too much about those Sims. But eventually they will get a makeover, I guess, when they are more my own. But for now, I really wanted to experience what the creator had made. So that is that. I've been looking at these, and it really helps to have a sim in mind who is going to wear it, I think, to make a decision. So I could recommend it if you're one of those people like me who normally looks at all these pictures and is like, I don't know how to choose from all of these. I really like this hairstyle. It's Moogle again. We'll click on it, and it is. I really like it, but is it right for Chester, our little geeky guy? I'm not sure. I'd probably go for something more like this. And then on top of that, get this hairstyle as a custom hairstyle because I really like it. But let's go and check this one out. It's in Remy's colors. Yeah, I'm not using Remy's colors, so that would be a reason to not pick it. Let's see what this is. I kind of like it. I have used Red Pirate's default replacements in a bulk in another neighborhood. And I sort of really like this one. And we're back at the same one again, same creator again, who, yeah, this one really does have higher poly counts. So I might make an exception. Also, Vidkund is going to wear this hairstyle. I think he has the same hairstyle. We'll just pick this one for now, and I'm pretty sure that not a lot of Sims are going to wear this hairstyle, so I don't really, and they're probably not going to attend many parties. So sometimes I make an exception for, I try to keep it below 10k and actually below 5k, but sometimes you see something pretty, you just can't say no. But getting something of 14k would really be an exception, and I usually only do that if it's a sim that I really love, and I think I really want them to have a certain hairstyle. And I'm also going to get this one. You can't use two, but if I don't like the other one enough to make an exception, I will change it out for this one. Let's see, default, M hair, rice bowl. Okay, let me scroll down and see if I can find it. There it is, and it's the default. Oh, it is a default. Okay, cool. There we go. And if I pick this one, I think I have to do the child's default separately, but I don't really mind. I don't really mind having the kids having another hairstyle in this case. And looking at the colors, I think this one would also be an option. But I just think it's sort of too cool to wear for Chester and Vidkund. But it could probably work. It could probably work. It's 8,000 poly, so that's better. We'll just get this one too. It's just whenever we put it in the game, it can only be one, so we can only test one at a time. But I usually put the extras in a folder so that I know that I can change them out if I want to, and then I try to make a decision shortly after downloading them when I still know which is which. Okay, hi all. It's me during editing, and After putting the hairstyles in the game, I figured out that finally, you might have already seen it, but Chester is not actually wearing the rice bowl. He is wearing the 60. Now, this isn't actually the first time that this happened to me. I'm just really not good with those sorts of details. You can see that they're sort of similar, right? I'm not totally crazy. But he's wearing 60 and so is Vidkund. So I actually went for this hairstyle that I think both fits Vidkund and him very well. So yeah, that's the one that we downloaded. The dreadlock long for Patrick. Oh, this is, I really like this. There are some really cool hairstyles here. I'm probably going to end up with this one again because it's just, I really want to have this hairstyle in the game, so it might as well be a default. I'm not really too fond of the shorter one, so this is actually a really low poly count for a hairstyle like this, and it looks really cool. So definitely going to get this. Child to elder, yeah, why not? And then the last one is the round one. This is the this is the one that I have. Yeah, definitely this one, because this is Esoteria. So I could pronounce that in like 10 different ways. I'm going with this one for now. And I have all of these because they're so good, but they didn't do all of the hairstyles, and I don't know if there are still more coming. I have no idea, but yeah, that's why this is, whenever I see a picture like this with the thing in the background, that's the first click and the first choice. So, but if they didn't make it, I'm going to look for other creators. I love this hairstyle too, but we're trying to replace something that is a bit bigger. But it could, oh, and I really love this, but I think I have this in a custom version, a really pretty one by Antoninko. So I might just go for this one for the default and get a custom version of this hairstyle because I like it, but I don't think I wanna. Max has made some really weird choices, I think, with who to give that hairstyle. I don't know. It just sometimes it just doesn't seem to fit the character, but that's just my opinion. But I think I would have a less wild hairstyle for the default, and then have some cute bigger hairstyles to choose as a custom for when I think it fits them. I'm not sure about the colors, but we'll have to check in game. So let's get that here. And that was the last one of the hairstyles anyway. But we also had the, let's close some tabs, keep it clean. But we of course also had the female clothing. So let's move over to that list and we'll go back to the first screen, the Sims default database, and go for adults female. And the two clothing items that we are going to replace are the blue dress, the turtle sweater dress shoes. We want to replace the blue one, but we of course can replace the entire set. There are a lot of cool options to choose from. I really like this one, but I already have this as a replacement for something else, but it might be an option. We could also go for like a prettier version of what it already was. So I think, I'm not sure what the difference between these is, but they look quite similar. So that is definitely an option. I kind of like this one, but it looks a bit young. Like for a young adult, it would be really cool. But the sim that is wearing it is like a sim in their 40s with a bit more of a career, and yeah. I am going to check this one out because it's just so pretty. And I'm curious about this one, so let's click that too. The other ones are not really matching either the style or I already have it. I know I have this one. And I hardly ever use it, so yeah, these are really the options. And I already, by the names, I can see that I've clicked on my favorite creators again. It's so many of the times it's Veronaville Trash, Elo Sims, or Rodera. That's just yeah, these colors are too orangey, too maxes, I think. Yeah, so this is the dress. And again, I don't really think it fits the sim that we're trying to replace it for. Neither does this one, although I really like this. This is the turtle sweater dress shoes, replaced with Memento Sim sweater dress. I like the sweater dress, but we're not going to go for this one. I might actually end up with replacing it with these two. I wouldn't really mind, since it's default replacements, to have two that replace to the same blue dress that I really, really love. These are the more Maxis, closer to the Maxis style. And I also really, really like this. I have seen this before when I was trying to replace the these ones. And I held off on that because it replaced more than just one item. I like these a little bit less. So it's either this one, which I already have, or this one, keeping them in a little bit more of a Maxis style. Well, a lot more of a Maxis style, obviously. But yeah, I am going to go for this one. I know I've downloaded it before. I don't know why it doesn't remember the like. But yeah, so that's the first outfit that we've replaced today. It's definitely not the first in the game. And the second one was, I forget the name, but there it is, the shirt Untucked Oxford. And since I've played in my old neighborhood with these Maxis outfits for so long, it's not only that they're old and just not that pretty, and you know, in this day and age it doesn't really fit, but it's also that when I look at this outfit, I see a certain sim who has worn it for like 15 years in in my real time. So yeah, that's just Jacqueline Hamilton right there, Jackie Hamilton. So that's another reason for me to default. I have not, and I am not going to default the Maxis clothing in Simsville, only in the newer neighborhoods, for that exact reason. I like this. I think it's closest to the style that it's that the vibe that I'm getting from this outfit is closest to this right here. But looking at just the outfit itself, I also really like this one, so that might be an option. This again is too young, wouldn't fit anyone. Wouldn't fit everyone. And this is, it's if you're looking for like staying really close to Maxis, that's Maxis style. These things are really perfect. Yeah, and these ones I don't like. I think there's already something like that in the game, right? They never wear that. In my game, I never go for that. And I really like this, but I'm sure that I have these as customs because those is that MDP? We Blue Peas. Yeah. We Blue Pieces scrub sweater is one of the first things I download, I think, in every in every neighborhood. I like it, but I'm very certain that I have most of these things as custom. But it does fit the style. It's definitely an option if I throw out the custom ones. So this was just to look at it. Is the most Maxis one. I think it would definitely be an option if I would want to change it up a bit, but not go out of that style too much. Let's see. Yeah, I do kind of like this. I know I have these pants. I think even with the shoes, but I'm not sure. Not too sure about the vest. And overall, it's just too far from the vibe that I'm getting from the original outfit. So this is the most likely that I'm going to go for. It's Kioni, usually a bit too colorful for me, but there are a lot of items, color items, that I do like. So let's just go and download this. And these are the previous ones. So yeah, this is definitely, the way that I'm looking at it now, is definitely going to be the choice for this neighborhood. And that was the last one on the list, so we're done defaulting. And I'll see you back in the game when we see how these outfits are going to look on our Sims and see if they're going to be happy with them. And the next step, of course, is to put it in my downloads folder. So we've got the downloaded and unpackaged items right here. And I've got my downloads folder for the Megahood right here. And as you can see, this is pretty much organized, except for this one, which has a lot of new items in there that I'm still sorting through. I did a download spree actually a while ago, flipping through old pages of a lot of creators, Veranka's old stuff, fake blood, lots and lots more. And I downloaded so many items, and they're in the game, but I still have to flip through them. And when I definitely decide that I want this in the game, I put it in the folder where it belongs. So it's going to go somewhere. This is all clothing, and I've sort of categorized it by build, clutter, design, which are like entire rooms, and then gameplay. So it makes sense to me because it kind of fits the reason why I'm using it, why I downloaded it. And this is also because except for that big downloading spree, I really switched to the need to have basis instead of, oh, that looks cool, let's put it in the game, and ending up with a huge downloads folder. This isn't small either, but it works, and the game runs smooth, and that's the most important thing. So yeah, let's put these in. These two are the clothing defaults, and I have a folder for that to just throw them in there and categorize them later. So these are the ones that are a permanent yes. I've checked them, I like them, and I'm keeping them, and I've put them in the spreadsheet that I've defaulted them. And these ones I downloaded and I might like them, but I haven't put them in the spreadsheet yet. And then the hairs will do the same. We've got the crabby, the dreadlock, the rice bowl, and the peak. I mean the round, the dreadlock, the rice bowl, and the peak. And we're just going to throw them in here. And once I put them in a spreadsheet, I will have to find them, but that usually works out. So let's jump into the game and see how they look. So here we have Chester with his new hairstyle. It's a bit orangey, but I kind of like it for him. He does certainly also need a makeover, new clothing anyway, but I'm going to hold off on that and do that in the second round. I've been doing that for most of the Sims in this neighborhood. Because I just want to get to know the Sim a little bit better before I give them a makeover. So yeah, that is Chester for now. And I think around 7, Nicholas is going to come down the stairs. So we'll wait for him. There we go. Here's Nicholas. These guys have actually been playing chess together a lot. So they have become quite good friends so far. I absolutely do love his hairstyle. So I'm keeping that default. And then we, of course, had Patrick. Patrick is actually Marcia's brother. So he's been in this apartment building a lot, visiting his sister and his niece especially. But he's not here now, and he doesn't live here. And he's probably not going to show up by himself, so we're going to teleport him in. There he is. He's a single father of 2 sons. And yeah, this hairstyle is so beautiful. I love it. I'm not sure if he is going to keep it, but he can keep it for now. And I've already played his first round, so we'll see in his second round if he's going to keep it, if I'm going to get used to it, or that I think he should change it. But we're not going to. We're just going to let him have it for now. And I think around 9, Alvin came down the stairs. So let's see if he shows up again. There he is. There's Alvin with the round haircut, which is now a short round haircut. Yeah, that does look good to me. I think it suits him. So yeah, definitely satisfied with these 4 default hairstyles. And the second part was obviously the defaulting of the female clothing. So we've got Linda Shin here. She is wearing basically the same outfit, just with better textures. And I think I like it for now. She might get a makeover later on, but I think this fits her. She is a researcher. She's in the science career, and she's going to probably run the research facility or something like that. And I'm going to set that up this round actually, because I want my Sims to be able to buy medicine. And this is the second outfit. Jordan Royce, divorced mother of a son, I believe. And I'm getting sort of a Desperate Housewives vibe from these girls. We'll see how that goes. And this is Linda's daughter, Willow, who's going to be in fashion. But yeah, overall I'm very satisfied with the defaults right now. I think it suits them. And now that we're here, this house looks very bare and empty. And Linda does have a good job. She was recently assigned as the head of research. So I think that would really mean that she could take out a loan. So we're going to probably send her upstairs, take out a loan, and redecorate this house in the morning. So we'll let these girls have their social evening together. And maybe Willow could even get to know her mother's friends a little bit better. I think she might get along with Shelby, but we'll have to see. So we'll let them have their social evening, and tomorrow with daylight, when they're at work and at school, we're going to decorate their house. And I'll see you afterwards. So we're done with the redecorating, and don't mind Tank, he's just visiting. But I thought it was funny because Tank is absolutely gay in my game, and he showed up here with a new pink shirt, which I thought was really funny. Um, Willow is actually really happy with her new room. She's very artistic. She is already spending all of her time designing stuff, and she's definitely going to be in fashion later on, which is a custom career. There are several custom careers, but there's especially the one from The Sims 1, which I really like. So yeah, she's just going to spend her day working on her arts, working on her hobby, and I think she really loves it. Her new room seems to fit her. Everything has been kept really simple, not too much clutter. They just moved in, I just started playing them, and I will definitely add some more stuff to their home, especially downstairs. I think all of the cupboards and shelves and stuff are all empty because I want to clutter them up later on, just not right at the start when they start playing. And her mom, I think she is a bit neurotic. She is very neat, very clean. She wants to have everything in place, and yeah, I think her room is both elegant and simple and really fits her. I think this is the calm place that she needs to just wind down after a long day of work. And by now, I figured out that she wants to be a distinguished astronomer, so she is going to definitely start a research place and have some telescopes out there and try and earn her money by discovering stars and stuff like that. So, yeah, overall, I think these two women have a nice place to start their new lives in this Megahood. I'm not sure how much of this private Megahood I will be sharing, but whenever it feels appropriate and I feel like there's something interesting to share, I might keep doing that. So as always, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sort of video of me sharing random sim stuff, jumping from one project to another. Leave a like if you did and share your thoughts in the comments. And let me know if you're interested to see more of these sorts of videos. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!